from that presentation, and we want to go right into it. Thank you for those who are here early. I can see you are people who are very focused, and we appreciate that. We have to beat this thing called Kenyan timing and be people on time if you want to make it in this year 2021. Susan Mamushi is my name from Bovik Limited, Customer Relations Manager. And we welcome you to our first ever talk with Victor Botto. You have been disturbing him the whole of last year to give you these corporate talks that he has been doing all over the world. And he decided, yeah, he'll take on the challenge to share his nuggets of wisdom with all of you. And so you are the privileged lot that is getting this firsthand and free of charge. Yeah, you might be charging after this. So welcome all, and we hope that we will have a great time together as we listen to Victor Botto. And just a few housekeeping rules. Make sure your microphone is off or mute yourself so that we avoid a lot of interference as we do the presentation. Also make sure that you label yourself well, your name, so that if we can call on you or we can know people. Yes, and just relax and enjoy the presentation. So our talk today is about unlocking your potential in 2021. And I would also like to acknowledge our sponsors. I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. We have Botto Solar Limited, where Victor is also a director. And we also have CEO and director from Botto Solar Limited. Is Engineer Ephraim in the house, or a representative from Botto Solar? Mrs. Edith, are you there? You can say hi to the people. These are some of our corporate sponsors. We would like to really thank them. Is she there? You can unmute yourself and say hi.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you.
Hello. You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we are glad to be sponsors of this very wonderful talk. We'd like to listen to the young man and to support him to hear what he has to offer the world. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Moshiri, one of the managers at Botto Solar Limited, where also Victor Botto is a director. And if you don't know what Botto Solar Limited is, it's a leading renewable energy company that operates in Kenya and in East Africa. It manufactures various appliances, institutional cooking stoves, solar home systems, hot water systems, floodlights, and security lights. Anything renewable energy, think Botto Solar Limited. So they are one of our leading companies in the country. And if you have any of those needs, feel free to visit their website at www.bottosolar.com. And of course, we have Bovik Limited, who is our host, or the company that is our host for today. And Bovik Limited is a leading technology company in East Africa, investing in e-commerce. Most of you know Victor Botto from the e-commerce platform, and you know that Bovik is leading. It's one of the leading ones. It's even above Jumia and the rest. So Bovik is a leading e-commerce platform in East Africa, retailing, distributing, and logistics planning, and sells products like smartphones, laptops, computers, CCTV systems, internet, point of sale software. So any kind of electronic gadget you can think of Bovik. And you can visit their website at www.bovik.co.ke. If you have not been buying from Bovik, I don't know where you have been buying from. Yes. So welcome. And we want to thank Bovik and Botto Solar. We also thank our many other partners and friends who have been working with us in this journey. We may not mention all your names. Our banks like ABSA and the rest, we want to thank you for your support. Yes, and so for those of you who do not know who Victor is, Victor is an entrepreneur and a business consultant. Sorry, excuse me, my video keeps on going off, but I hope you can hear my voice. He's an entrepreneur and a business consultant. In fact, he's more of a technopreneur. He's into electronics and gadgets and renewable energy. He holds a BSc in electrical and electronics engineering from University of Nairobi. And currently he's about to complete his MSc in technology innovation from Strathmore University. He's also been a fellow at the Alibaba Business School from Huangzhou, China, and he's the director of Bovic Holdings and Botto Solar Limited. Yes, and he is married and a father of 2 beautiful kids. So single ladies, sorry, this one is taken. Yes, and that is Victor Botto. He's a family man, he's a technopreneur, and he is passionate about mentoring people in business. So you people are getting the best. So welcome very much. And today we will be covering, okay. So just before that, the partners and people who Victor has worked with, or some of the notable companies he's been working with, are Safaricom, Jamii Telcom, Airtel. So you can see he's been a lot in the telecommunication space. He's also worked with the United Nations, the European Union, and he's a partner with the eFounders Fellowship of Alibaba Business School, which is currently trying to shape champions for the new economy on e-commerce. So he's one of the leading people who is doing that in Kenya. So for today, I hope you have your notebooks and pens ready. These are the topics that we are going to be covering today: the success mindset, goal setting, and finding a hustle. So pay very keen attention. I hope you have a notebook and pen, like I said, or go and get one right now. We'll be asking questions at the end of the presentation, and we shall be giving gifts for people who have been attentive listeners from Bovic Limited. So pay attention and make sure you listen and take notes. So without further ado, it is my joy to welcome the man of the hour, Mr. Victor Botto. You can do those reaction hand claps if you have them on your screen or if you know how to use them. Yes, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation. Mr. Victor, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Susan, for the warm introduction. I hope everyone is comfortable, you're seated in, and you have your pen and paper. It's good to put these ideas in pen and paper so that you can remember them and so that you can share with others. So without further ado, as Susan has mentioned, these are the 3 topics that you're going to be covering. As usual, we have a lot of Kenyan timing. That's why we put the meeting at 7, and we are seeing it's already 7:30. And this is a good time to start, as the other participants will join us as we go along. So we'll start off with the success mindset. That's the first topic of discussion tonight, which I believe it's a good point of discussion because many of us don't know how to set our success mindset in place to be able to achieve our goals. So what is success? Yeah, this is a question I think which many of you ponder. What is success? What do you view success as? What is your success? Yeah, and for sure, success has many definitions. Yeah, I will not say that success can just be defined in one way for everyone. Everyone has their own definition of success. Everyone is pushing in different directions. Yeah, for someone, a bicycle is success. For another person, a big car is a success. For another person who has a big car, maybe for him an aeroplane is success. So you need to contend with your own definition of what is success for you. Success looks different for everyone. So when you look at these pictures, yeah, what comes to your mind? Yeah, when you look at these pictures, you can see on the right side, that's a top of the range Range Rover, which I think retails about at around probably almost 20 million in Kenya. Look at that nice villa. Yeah, what comes to your mind when you see these pictures? This is the famous boy band, Sauti Sol. Do you consider them a success? They are taking their music to the world. Yeah, just taken them a long time. I think the boy band group started 2 decades ago. but they've taken the music to the world. What comes to your mind when you see these pictures? These are gemstones, some of the most expensive gemstones in the world, some even above $1 million, that's 100 million Kenyan shillings. What comes to your mind when you see these gemstones? Yeah. This is another picture. Do you want to take trips around the world? Do you want to spend your retirement visiting different continents, different locations? Yeah. You can see this is one of the beautiful locations. This can be Mombasa, or it can be anywhere else in the world, maybe Hawaii. What comes to your mind when you see this kind of pictures? Yeah. So is success the attainment of fame, wealth, or social status? I think that is the number one definition that most of us think of when you think about success. Most of us think of success as the attainment of fame, of wealth, and social status. And true, that is one of the definitions of success according to the Oxford Dictionary. I know most of you know this guy. Most of you have seen this guy who is famous in Kenya. Unless you're not Kenyan, you probably know Eliud or Kipchoge Keino. So Kipchoge Keino is a world record holder. I consider him as a success. And I believe most of you will agree with me that Kipchoge Keino is a success. He's the world record holder for the marathon. He did it in a time of 2 hours, 1 minute and 39 seconds. This record was set back in 16th September 2018. Yeah, in the 2018 Berlin Marathon. And the other challenge that I'm sure it's very fresh on our minds is the Ineos challenge. If you didn't watch this challenge, I don't think when in Kenya Daima. This was a challenge that every Kenyan was glued to the TV watching. It was the Ineos challenge. At the Ineos challenge, he pushed himself, yeah, and did the marathon in 1 hour and 59 seconds. Actually, the challenge was Kipchoge against 1 hour and 59 seconds. And we remember that he beat this goal. He beat this timing. And why did I put Kipchoge here or Kipchoge Keino here? It's because athletes push themselves. Yeah. For those of you who come from the Rift Valley region, and especially Eldoret, where they have the high altitude training centers. And if you see the training that these guys go through, it's torture, it's painful. Some of you might actually think it's torture. They wake up at the wee hours of the morning to train. These guys train continuously. They have crazy discipline to be able to achieve this kind of goals. They put in their best foot forward. Some of these people wake up at 4 in the morning to start their training and go all the way up to 8 or the wee hours of the night to be able to maintain this kind of records and to be able to beat others in this kind of competitions. So these are the kind of people that we should emulate in terms of looking out to success. Yeah. And you know, as well, Kipchoge Keino is a very humble person. He doesn't even boast about the wealth that he has. And in the Ineos challenge, I believe the prize money was over 20 million for that challenge, for him to beat that record. So what is success? This is actually another definition of success from the Oxford Dictionary. It is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Yeah, that is how the Oxford Dictionary defines success: the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So, have you ever had an aim? Have you ever had a goal? I'm sure every one of us has had a goal, and more often than not, we always set goals at the beginning of the year. And that's why so this is a good time to have this kind of session so that you can be able to have clarity on your goal settings for 2021. For sure, 2020 had its challenges. Well, most of us had planned big things as it started, me included. I was planning to lose weight as I've been planning for the last 10 years. I was planning to lose weight. I'm sure many of you had plans to lose weight, plans to change jobs, plans to do big things in 2020. But what happened? Some of those plans, or in fact, most of those plans fell through the cracks. Yeah. So we all have goals which we want to accomplish. And the purpose of this webinar, this talk, is to help you to have clarity on how to accomplish these goals. So as we said, the first topic is the success mindset. And this is the success mindset. This is my definition of the success mindset. It's a deep hunger to accomplish your goals and doing everything it takes to achieve them. Why do I say a deep hunger? It's because if you're not going after your goals with a deep desire to accomplish them, nothing will happen. You need to have it's just like when you're hungry or you're starving or you've gone on a fast. And whenever you see food or when you get home, the first thing is that you want to go open the fridge or you want to go to the kitchen and just grab anything that's there and eat it. That's the kind of hunger that you need towards going for your goals. You need a deep hunger to accomplish your goals, and you need to do everything that it takes to achieve those goals. If you don't have a deep hunger, and if you're not doing everything to achieve these goals, they will not happen for you. They will not come to pass. So this is the most important trait, I would say, in terms of chasing success or having success in life. And why have I shown these pictures of discipline? I'm sure most of you know the definition of discipline. I don't have to go through the definition of discipline, but this is, I would say, the core ingredient in unlocking your success. Without discipline, discipline is actually doing the right thing even when you feel like not doing it. It is waking up at 6 even when your body doesn't want to wake up. It is deciding to show up at work even when you're feeling like you're not motivated. It is showing up at your business even when no customers are showing up. That is what is called discipline. Yeah, it is being in a state of mind that you want to do the right thing all the time because you have a vision of what you want to accomplish, even if you don't see the results now. That is discipline. This, like you see, this is a Standard Chartered marathon, and usually it runs every year, and people do crazy training. I'm sure most of you who are attending this Zoom call have done the Standard Chartered marathon, and it takes a lot of training. It takes sweat, it takes tears. And why do you train that hard? Because you have a goal of doing what? Probably losing weight, probably beating the last time that you set in the marathon, or whatever other reason you have, or probably it's just part of that, of the teamwork that you want to have with your colleagues. You're doing the Standard Chartered marathon. You have seen Danford. This guy pushed himself. He has been doing swimming for the longest time. I know, since I think more than a decade. And he has broken some records. He has had some very good success in his swimming career. Cycling, we've seen a movement of cyclists. People have started getting to cycling, going to Karura Forest, doing cycling everywhere. If you're taking any long road trip, you'll probably see cyclists during the weekend. Why are they pushing themselves this hard? Yeah, because they want to succeed in whatever they're doing. Probably it's weight loss, probably it's just endurance or perseverance that they're building in their system. That's why they're doing this kind of cycling. And we have here one of our own, Zarika, who is actually a very good boxer, and she has achieved a lot in her career. And she's one of the people we are proud of to associate ourselves with. So discipline is one of the major ingredients in you achieving your success. Without discipline, most likely you'll never reach your goals. Without discipline, you will not have the drive to push yourself. Without discipline, you'll not have the motivation. And without discipline, probably all your goals will go through the cracks and you might never achieve what you're setting out yourself to do. So just to mention some of the other traits that we see in successful people, that's Usain Bolt. And you and I know he was he's a record holder for the 100 meters. And what are these traits of the successful people? Yeah, they have an unstoppable attitude. That's number one. Yeah, if you have pen and paper and you want to write, these are some of the notes you should take. So as I mentioned, the number one trait was discipline. So successful people have an unstoppable attitude. They do not take no for an answer. They do not take life by its own terms. They do not take failure. They just take failure as a learning. You need to have that kind of unstoppable attitude while going towards your goals, while going towards your dreams. Don't let anything stop you. Go with them with laser focus. That's the second thing. It's laser focus on your goals. When you have your goals, why do you call them laser focus? Because when you have a laser beam, it points in one direction and does not veer into any other direction. It points in one direction. You need to have a laser focus on your goals. If you don't have a laser focus on your goals, you will not achieve them. The next thing is that no excuse is accepted. As human beings, we have a tendency of creating excuses for almost anything that happens in our lives. If you get to work late, which I'm sure many of you have gotten to work late in the morning. Personally, I've been to work late, and probably you're supposed to report at 8, and you report at 8:30 or at 9. When you're asked by your boss, why are you late? What's the first thing you do? More often than not, you'll come up with an excuse. It was traffic. You blame the traffic, blame the rain, blame your neighbors, blame where your car was parked, blame a lorry fell down on Thika Road. You'll get all sorts of excuses. But the truth is, those excuses do not take you nearer to your goals. Yeah, those excuses are just a way of escape. And if you are chasing success in your own life, no excuse is accepted. Do not take any excuse. Don't use excuses as a way of escape, because for sure, excuse is a way of escape. When you're telling your boss that you're late because of traffic, I mean, you'll have woken 30 minutes earlier. You'll have woken up 30 minutes earlier and you'll have been in the office in time. But of course, there are always unavoidable circumstances. But don't put excuses which will stand between you and your better life. So no excuses accepted. Number 4 is that successful people are self-driven. They don't wait for an external force to drive them. More often than not, people are always waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for, I don't know, some motivation from somewhere, something to fall in the right place. You're waiting for sijui pesa fulani ikuje ndio ufanye hivi, or somebody to do this so that you do that. You need to be self-driven. Don't wait for drive to come from outside. Yes, you did drive from outside. You need motivation from external sources, but the best motivation is internally. It's your self-drive. You need to find what wakes you up in the morning, what makes you sleep late, what drives you the whole day, what will make you chase your dreams with the urgency that is required. You need to have self-drive. You also need to have self-reliance. So I've had people, my friends, saying that they have not started a business because their uncle did not loan them money, because their mom did not give them 20K, because their dad didn't do this, because they are not able to sell some land somewhere. You need to rely on yourself. Don't wait for others to be the pillars to support your dreams. More often than not, all those people you call your friends, all those people you call your buddies will more often than not fail you. And they'll fail you at the 11th hour. They'll tell you, yes, we are in on the project, but at the 11th hour, none of them is picking your calls. That's why you need to be self-reliant. Don't wait on others. Be able to rely on yourself and have all the resources that you need to go ahead. Don't wait for other people to come in and support you. They will fail you. And more often than not, they will fail you for sure. So build self-reliance. Rely on yourself. Find how you can move things on your own. Don't wait for external forces to drive you. Next is patience. Yeah, success takes time, and most of us are not patient. I'm sure you've been seeing lately on news about these schemes. I would say I would call them pyramid schemes. Yeah, the most recent one is called golden skips. Yeah, and golden skips, what are they promising? They are promising heaven on earth. Yeah, many of us fall prey to these get rich quick schemes. Yeah, and that is what most of these kind of investors are doing. I remember, in fact, my wife was telling me to invest in one of these schemes. And I told her, it's too good to be true. And when it's too good to be true, probably it is. There is no get rich quick scheme. Why am I talking about patience? It takes time. It takes time to build wealth. It takes time to build a brand. It takes time to achieve your goals. You need to be patient. And this is the wrong notion that our youth out there are having. And they believe that you can take the shortcut. You can take the quick route to the top. But the quick route to the top will cost you. It will cost you more than being patient with your goals. So avoid this kind of get rich quick schemes. You've seen golden skips, almost swindled 18 billion from many investors. And there are many others. They're not the only ones. There are many others. So be patient. Be patient with growing your brand. Be patient with growing your business. Be patient with growing your career. In the right time, all the dots will add up. And eventually, you will reach your destination. And the best thing is that you'll reach your destination happy. You'll not reach your destination looking behind your back. And that's what happens with most of these people who are even corrupt. You've stolen $1 billion, but you're not in peace. You're always checking who's following me, who's following me. You have to change cars every day. You come with one car in the morning and go back with another car in the evening because you don't know who is following you, who's trailing you. So be patient. Trust the process. It takes time. If you see some of these athletes, most of these people have taken 5 to 10 years to be successful. In fact, one quote I like a lot is, it takes 5 to 10 years to have overnight success. Anyone that you're looking out there and you're saying that this guy is an overnight success, it has probably taken him 5 to 10 years to build his brand, to build his company to where it is, to build his enterprise to where it is. So be patient, trust the process, be optimistic about the future. Yeah. I mean, 2020 was a very low year for most of us, including me, even in business. But you need to maintain some level of optimism in the future. You know, life is cyclic. It goes round. When you have night, for sure, you'll have day. When you have the seasons, when you have summer, you'll have winter. So life's ups and downs are normal. And when you are down, I believe that 2020 was the year that most people struggled with. People are down. And for sure, you are always going to go up. So 2020 might have been your lowest point. You need to be optimistic that 2021 and beyond will be better years than 2020. Count 2020 as your lowest moment and build on that for 2021. You need to have passion. You need to be excited about what you do. If you're not excited about what you do, this is the problem, in fact, of copycat businesses. You find someone selling a particular product and you say, I want to copy that. But it's not your passion. If it's not your passion, you'll not have fun doing that kind of business. And you'll not be successful. You need to follow your passion. You need to have passion in everything that you do. When you're going to your job, when you're going to your business, when you're going to your hustle, do everything you do with passion. And passion will reward you because it will be able to fuel you to be able to achieve those goals that you're looking for. You need to have self-confidence. You need to be confident about your goals, about your dreams. Sometimes you ask people what are their goals, and they're saying, my goal is, they're speaking in low tones. You're not confident about what you're looking for. You need to be confident. You need to speak out and let others hear what you want to achieve, and they'll hold you accountable for it. So be confident and find ways of being self-confident about everything that you do. Procrastination. Procrastination is a big killer of dreams. What is procrastination? It is putting things off until next time. It's saying that I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, while you have the time right now. You need to put procrastination in a corner. Decide that if there's something that you need to chase right now and you have the time, you have the resources, do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Because what happens is when you tell yourself you do it tomorrow, you'll do it next week, there's something called the law of diminishing intent. The intent to do that particular item goes down and you'll not be motivated to chase that particular goal. So put procrastination in a corner, decide that whatever you want to do it now. As long as you have the opportunity to do it now, achieve it right now. The next and the last point is you need to be obsessed with excellence. And that's why I put pictures of athletes here. These guys are obsessed with excellence. You know, in athletics, there are always 3 positions. You're either 1, 2, or 3. No one remembers number 4 up to number 50 or whatever number. So you have to be obsessed with excellence. It's either you're number 1, number 2, or number 3. And of course, the slot you want to take is number 1. So when you're chasing your dreams, when you're chasing your goals, do you want to become number 1 in your field? Or do you want to become number 4 and no one will remember you, or number 50? But the good thing is that in the game of life, unlike in athletics where people are given positions, even if you turned out number 20 in your field, but you put your best foot forward, you'll probably be in a good place. Someone says it's better to shoot for the moon, but even if you land amongst the stars, you're still in a good place. So be obsessed with excellence. Be obsessed with achieving your goals. So I hope that is clear for everyone. So when you talk about the success mindset and when you talk about success, I say this is the 360-degree success, or these are the 3 dimensions of success. In fact, let me call them the 3 dimensions of success: health, wealth, and happiness. So why do I say that these are the 3 dimensions of success? Probably without any of this, you'll not be successful. When you talk about health, you need to be in good health. That's why people are making lots of effort to lose weight. Others are making effort to add weight. In fact, interesting enough, as I told you, I've had a very long-standing goal of losing weight. Good enough, I've lost a bit of weight, but I'm planning to lose more. And I signed up to a gym. And interesting enough, I was going to the gym. I want to lose about 10 kgs. And I met another guy. He's called Kevin. And his goal is actually to gain weight. And I said, isn't that interesting? That while I'm chasing the goal for losing weight, he's chasing a goal for gaining weight. He also wants to, I think, gain about 12 kilos. So your health is important. Yeah. Because if you cannot have good health, you will not do well in the marketplace. Yeah. Some people actually don't do well because they don't feel well. If you're not well, you'll not go to work. You'll be dozing off the whole day. So health is important, and not only physical health. In fact, I was just touching on physical health. You need also your mental health. Last year was a challenging year, and we're even seeing so many cases on TV even this year of people killing each other here and there. This is all to do with health. Something is wrong with the mental health. Something is wrong with how people are being programmed. I don't know whether people are watching, I don't know, horror movies or action movies which are violent, and all of a sudden people are killing each other. But the truth is that we need to take care of our physical health and our mental health. And when you go to wealth, it's a big word I've used there. But when I talk about wealth here, I don't mean going out for a goal to be a billionaire or a multimillionaire. I basically mean going out to become financially independent, where you're at that point where your income can support your expenses without straining yourself, and being able to provide a good quality of life for your family, being able to provide the basic needs for your children, being able to live a life with dignity. That's what I talk about wealth. It's not about chasing stacks of money, chasing billions, or chasing millions out there. It's about being financially sound and being financially independent. And what you'll see is that if you have the wealth and you don't have the health, you cannot enjoy that wealth. Yeah. In fact, like Chris Kirubi, recently diagnosed with cancer. Most of us know Chris Kirubi. He's a very wealthy guy, but he got cancer. That's on his health side. Is he successful? No, because he's struggling with his health now. Yes, he's successful. If you take the weighing scale of wealth, he's successful on that side, but his health has deteriorated. And what does that do to him? He's not enjoying happiness. Until he gets healed, he's not enjoying happiness. So this is the last part of this equation of success. You need to be happy about what you're going after. Happiness means different things to different people. So whatever makes you happy, go after that. Whatever makes you excited, go after that. Whatever makes you fulfilled, go after that. So these are important points to note, that in everything that you're chasing, those goals, those dreams, everything that you're doing, ensure that you have health, wealth, and happiness sorted out so that you'll be happy. If you have health and you have wealth and you don't have happiness, then you're living a sad life. As many people say, money will not make you happy. Yeah, but everyone wants to find out that for themselves. So money might not make you happy. Yeah, for others it might, but the truth is, if you are chasing after wealth and it doesn't make you happy, then are you successful? You're not. If you're chasing after health and you live out your wealth, then you're not successful. So each of these 3 dimensions of success is important when you're chasing your success. So just to give you a bit of my story, and I'll say this is my success story. About, I think it was 1 year and 2 months ago, I was able to meet Jack Ma. This is actually Jack Ma, for those of you who know him. So this Jack Ma, and I had the privilege of brushing shoulders with Jack Ma. This was actually in Ghana in end of 2019. And I will say this was a successful moment for me. This was one of the, in fact, you can see me, my whole dental formula is out because, because I was happy to meet Jack Ma. It has been a long goal of mine to meet Jack Ma. And somehow, I don't know, God and the universe brought it all together. And I was able to meet with Jack Ma. He's actually the richest man in China. I don't know if he's been surpassed right now, but he's the wealthiest man in China. And I had the privilege of also visiting Alibaba Group. As you know, Alibaba Group is one of the biggest e-commerce players in the world. In fact, Alibaba Group is the biggest e-commerce player in the world in terms of transaction value or number of transactions. These guys process about 1 million packages a day. Can you imagine that? 1 million packages a day. That's a lot of packages. 1 million packages. In fact, I think that is more than even Kenya Posta or all our other logistics providers do in a day. So I had the rare opportunity of visiting Alibaba headquarters in Hangzhou, China, and had the rare opportunity of joining Alibaba Business School and doing a course there. So these were part of my success stories. And for each one of us, when after this talk, think of these success moments that you've had in the past, because most of us look down upon ourselves and we think that there's nothing to look out for in the future. And the truth is that we have actually achieved a lot right now, that we are not patting ourselves at the back. So you need to review and see, what are these kind of moments that I've had in the past that were happy moments for me. So another success story for me is that I am blessed with a beautiful daughter and a beautiful son. I believe that's success for me. They make me happy. They make me wake up every morning. They make me push as hard as I push, and they make me chase my goals because I want their future to even be better than mine. I want them to live 10 times better than how I lived in my youth. So these are God's blessings. So that's part of my success story. So look at this kind of success stories. Even just having whole and healthy kids is a success. Having whole and healthy parents is a success. Having your better half is a success. And even for those who are not married, look up to these things and be inspired. I've also been fortunate enough to be invited for TV interviews. This doesn't happen every day and doesn't happen for everyone. So that's part of my success story. For those of you who joined the call earlier, I'm sure you saw the clip. And for those who didn't see the clip, this was me at Citizen TV talking about e-commerce and the state of e-commerce in Kenya, because my area of, I would say my main area of investment is actually in e-commerce. So it's not all rosy, yeah. I've also failed, and not once, not twice, not thrice, not 5 times. I have failed more than 10 times in business, yeah, and even at other things. And this is important to note, because when you look at people who have achieved a lot in their lives, people who have achieved success in their lives, sometimes you think that they've never had adversity in their lives. But the truth is, most often than not, they've had a lot of adversity, but they are able to rise above it. So failure is there. Failure is going to come in its truckloads. Be prepared for that. And that's why you need to get the shock absorbers right now, so that as you're chasing your dreams, you're able to have shock absorbers to be able to look ahead and to be able to absorb some of these failures. So as I'm telling you, I have failed at over 10 businesses and closed them down, but I took all this as learning lessons and started other businesses. In fact, I remember one of my first business adventures. I was 13 years and I started with my brother. I believe he was 14 at that time. And what happened is that he had been promised by my parents that he was going to get a PlayStation, Sony PlayStation, which was a big thing. One of the first PlayStation consoles for gaming. He was told that if he passes his exams, he's going to go get a PlayStation, because we had really told our parents we want a PlayStation. So, and it was very expensive. So my brother was able to perform well in his exams and he got a PlayStation. And we saw a business opportunity to turn part of my dad had a big, had a shop where he was doing his own other business. And we decided to hive off part of that shop and start a gaming business. So we were playing the games and we are realizing that most of our friends always want to come and play games at our place, but they're not paying anything. And we saw this is a very good opportunity to make money. Yeah. So we decided with my brother, let's come up with a business plan and tell my dad and mom, let's take part of their shop space and put a gaming parlor and have 2 game consoles. And we started the business, and it was, I would say, very successful at the beginning. I think those days we were charging about 20 bob per game, so kids could play for about 10 minutes, and we were able to do even 1,000 a day, yeah, which was good money back then. But due to mismanagement, I think we were too young to manage that kind of business with my brother. Eventually, it collapsed. Yeah, but we didn't lose hope. We tried businesses again. I started a business. In fact, this was after Form 4. I started a business of baking, and I was supplying scones to kiosks around our neighborhood. And I used to have a black Mamba. I got a black Mamba bike. And that time I'd even subscribed to CPA classes. So I used to wake up at about 4 in the morning, prepare the buns and everything else. And at 6, I hit the road with a black Mamba bike and go and supply all the kiosks around our area. And at the beginning, it was a very successful business. But I realized how hard the economy was, because I used to sell a pack of buns at 20 shillings. There were 5 buns, 20 bob, which was about 4 shillings per bun. And the kiosk owners or retailers will go and sell it at 5 bob, 6 bob. So I used to, after At 6, I deliver the buns. Then I finish delivering at around 7. Then I do debt collection in the evening after I come out from my CPA classes. So I used to go around, and imagine, I can tell you the price of that packet of bun was 20 shillings. And I used to go around debt collecting, and I would go to a kiosk. I'm collecting my 20 bob because he just took one packet of buns, and he tells me he doesn't have the money. Yeah. So I struggled, and eventually I lost a lot of money. Yeah. It was good business at first. So, most people build confidence with you as you're supplying the first times, but I eventually wrote off a lot of that money, and I failed at that business. So I'm just sharing these stories to tell you that failures will come. You need to be prepared for it. As you're chasing success, be sure that you're going to have adversity, and create the shock absorbers to be able to take in these failures, and take every failure as a learning opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to grow. Whenever you fail, pick yourself up and try again. You've seen this with athletes. You become number 3, you become number 5, but eventually you become number 1. Yeah. So it's refining your skill, refining your talent, refining your business, refining your model until it becomes the best model out there. So as you fail forward, learn and grow. And just in addition to that, 2020 was a tough year for many businesses. In fact, any business that is standing right now, I would say, is a business which can weather the storm, because 2020 was a hard year. Many industries were affected. Part of our business was focusing on learning institutions. And you know what happened to learning institutions? All of them closed down. All of them, 100% closed down. Refused to pay debts. Of course, the fact that they are closed means there's no new business. So that was basically an year where we had to think outside the box. Yeah. In my commerce business, I would say most of the products that we're selling, which are gadgets, smartphones, smartwatches, people are not ordering them anymore, because they're not important right now. What is important is staying alive. Yeah. So you have to be inventive. You have to look at the market and be flexible enough to change your model. In fact, one of the things we did was we identified an opportunity at that time when the lockdown came in, and we realized that most learning institutions, most people are working from home. And what was the number 1 need was internet. So very quickly, we decided to partner with Airtel Kenya. So we became distributors. So Bovik became distributors for Airtel Kenya for their home broadband products, which is the MiFis and the routers. And if it was not for us shifting and being flexible enough to see these new upcoming trends and opportunities, probably would have gone out of business. But we're able to see that opportunity. We partnered with Airtel, and that time connectivity was in high demand. And I'm sure even connectivity right now is in high demand, because many people want internet at home, because you're either working at home or your children need to get resources online. And we were able to push for them over 1,000 devices out there, MiFis and routers, and give people very good offers, and even Airtel, so that, yes, their business model is hurting. How can we make more from these people who are actually at home? And we came with very juicy offers, like offering free data, which is even on up to now. When you buy a gadget, you get 15 GB data free. And this was able to sustain us during that period of time when we were seeing there was a slump in business. And what also happened is we introduced a lot of other new, I would say, marketing strategies, and also a lot of new products, which we're actually not selling before. Why? Because we need to be flexible enough to change as the market is changing. And this is the kind of mindset that everyone needs to have. When you see that your skill set is running thin, you're going thin on the driveway, and you're seeing that your skill set is not enough to take you to the next career jump, to the next career step, you need to upskill yourself. Go back to school, get new skills, take a new course, read a new book, get a new group of friends, learn something new, challenge yourself. And even in business, don't watch your business going down. Try and see, is there a new way of doing things? Can I do things better? Is there something that I'm missing out on? So always be alert to see new trends and new ideas. So some of my low moments, as I told you, as you're chasing your goals, you'll also have low moments. This was one of my low moments. That was last year when my children were all admitted in hospital. Both my daughter and my son, and they spent quite some time in hospital. In fact, my daughter had a surgery, and also my son had a procedure. And these are low moments, but these low moments should not put you down. They should only strengthen your resolve to chase whatever you're chasing. So if a low moment comes to you, yes, it's human nature to feel sad, it's human nature to feel low, but you need to pick up yourself fast, because the rest of the world is not waiting for you and everyone else is moving. So that's the first bit of the presentation. I'll leave you there with a quote that success is both a destination and a journey. You need to enjoy the journey of success. Success takes a long time. It takes years. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Enjoy who you are going to become in pursuit of those goals. And at every point, celebrate. So at every point, you'll have a particular destination. You had a goal that you're running after and you've achieved it. Celebrate that destination. And it will be able to fuel you to continue chasing more of your goals. So let's go on to the next topic. This is the topic of goal setting. So we've talked about success, but you can't go after success if there's nothing you're chasing. You have to have a clear goal that you're chasing. And this is a quote, sorry. So dreams do not work unless you do. All of us are dreamers. Every one of us has a dream they want to chase. We have a dream we want to achieve. We have something that we are going after, but we need to work and we need to put in a lot of hard work in it. So why discuss the topic of goal setting? Why is it important to do goal setting? So that you know what you're going after. Goals give you clarity of purpose. This game is called archery. And usually in the game of archery or other games like darts, there's always that bullseye that you're aiming at. Why do you put that bullseye there? Is so that you aim at something. Because if you are aiming at nothing, whatever point you hit, it doesn't matter for you. But when you have a specific target, when you know that I want to come from point A to point B, then you have clarity of purpose. You know what you're chasing after. It's just like saying, I want to leave Nairobi and I'm heading to Mombasa, but I head in the direction of Nakuru. Will I get to Mombasa? I will not get to Mombasa because I don't have a clear path to which I'm going to get to that destination. So you need to set proper goals to be able to achieve your desired dreams or your desired vision. So more reasons why we are setting goals. You need to motivate yourself. So we are not always motivated, yeah? In fact, that's why we say discipline is so important, because when you have discipline, even when you're not motivated, you will push yourself. You'll motivate yourself. So motivation is important. You need to motivate yourself each and every day. When you're waking up each and every day, let your goals motivate you. Ask yourself, what do you want to achieve? It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but what do I want to achieve in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year? Motivate yourself. Have goals that will push you forward towards those goals. That's actually point 2. Push yourself forward towards those goals. If you're not motivated, you'll not push yourself. But if you're motivated, if you wake up motivated, like you wake up motivated every day to go to work, you push yourself. and you have to get to the office. You have to go to a meeting, push yourself. You have to get there. That's already a goal. You have to get to a meeting at 1 and you push yourself to get to that meeting. Why? Because you had set a goal of actually getting to that meeting. It also gives you accountability. You need to be accountable to yourself and maybe to your spouse or to your family. And if you don't have goals, you don't have any point of accountability to yourself. Because if you want to lose weight and you're not even writing down how many kgs you want to lose, how are you accountable to yourself? If you lost 1 kg, it doesn't matter. But if you wrote it down and say that I wanted to lose 10 kgs, then when you lose these 10 kgs, you can actually tick and say, for sure, I've achieved that goal of losing 10 kgs. It also helps you overcome procrastination. I've talked about procrastination, and you need to push procrastination in a corner. If you need to do it now, wake up and do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till next year. Eventually, you'll never do it. Push procrastination in a corner. The other thing that goal setting does, it helps you measure your progress. It helps you see where you've come from, where you are now, and where you're going. And this is important because seeing sometimes you forget where you've come from, and you might think there's no progress that you're making. And that's why generally most of us tend to drop our goals in the middle of the year or even in the first half of the year because we are not seeing progress. Simply because you don't have a yardstick for measuring progress. But if you have a goal, if you have your goals, you'll be able to measure your progress. You'll be able to see how far did I start in the year or last year. Where am I now? Have I had some success? And then where am I heading in the next few months or few years? So it helps you measure your progress. So most of you in the corporate world, I'm sure you've seen this is called SMART. It's actually a way of setting your goals. We say that your goals need to be SMART. They need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They need to be achievable. They need to be relevant. And they need to be time bound. So why do they need to be SMART? If you take scenario of, we're actually going to take a scenario of 3 people. One we call them Mr. A. So Mr. A, at the beginning of 2021, Mr. A set a goal of losing weight. That was his goal. So Mr. A set a goal of losing weight. Then we have Mr. B. Mr. B said he's going to do better than lose weight. Yeah. He's going to lose 10 kgs. Yeah. And then we have Mr. C. Mr. C set a goal of losing 10 kgs by June 2021. So between Mr. A, B, and C, who do you think achieved his goals? Between those 3 people. Between Mr. A, B, and C. Feel free to answer in the chats. So we are saying Mr. A set out to, he said, I'm going to lose weight. Mr. B said, I'm going to lose 10 kgs. And Mr. C said that he's going to lose 10 kgs by June of 2021. Who do you think achieved his goals? Your guess is actually as good as mine. It is Mr. C who achieved his goals. Why? Why did Mr. C achieve his goals? Yeah. And I'm seeing many of you are saying Mr. C for sure. Yeah. So why did Mr. C achieve his goals? And Mr. A and Mr. B did not achieve his goals. Why? Because his goals were specific. What is specific? What does the S stand for? Specific. It is stating what you want to do and stating it so clearly that anyone you meet out there, if you told them what you're going after, they don't need to ask you a second question. They can they know immediately what you're going after. You have a specific goal that you're going after. When you say, I want to lose weight, yes, it sounds like a goal, but the truth is, it is not a goal that's going to help you lose weight. Why? Because number one, how do you measure that you lost weight? Yeah, there's no measure of losing weight. What are you going after? That's why Mr. C is the guy who's going to reach his goals, because he has a yardstick for measuring. Yes, there's something specific he said. He wants to lose weight, but not just like losing weight. You need to measure. How am I losing weight? That's the M, measurable. Provide a way of evaluating whether you've reached your goals. In this case of weight loss, the measure is losing the 10 kgs. Yeah, you have a specific measure of what you're going after. And whatever goals that you're going to set up, we're going to do a small exercise for goal setting, is to ask yourself, how am I measuring my success? Yeah. Sometimes measurement does not need to be in kgs. It might just mean it's just a simple yes or no. Yeah. But you need a way of measuring. And is the goal achievable? Is the goal of losing weight achievable? Yeah. Is it within your scope of expertise? What you're going after, whatever goal you have in your mind, is it within your scope of expertise? Is it within your scope of resources? Because sometimes you might be going for goals which are way beyond your scope of resources, which means you'll never achieve them. You're pushing yourself, like what, let's say you're setting a goal of going to, I don't know, North Pole in a bicycle. It will never happen. It's not achievable. It might not be within your scope. It might not even be within your means. So set goals that are achievable. Yes, losing weight is achievable, but you need to measure it. How many kilos are you losing? The 10 kgs. Then is it relevant to your way of life? You know, does it make sense within your job function? Yeah. Does it improve your way of life? Does it improve your hustle? Does it improve your business? Does it improve your enterprise? Is it relevant to actually what you're doing? You need to ask yourself that. And most importantly, it needs to be time bound. If you set an open-ended goal without time, you'll probably not achieve it. Yeah. If you set up a goal of, I don't know, accumulating 1 million or accumulating 100K or 10,000, but you have no time frame, how are you measuring that you're going to accumulate this money? So you need to have a time frame within which you're going to achieve this goal. So that is why we are saying that your goals need to be smart. Just a small exercise. Now, a small exercise that I want us to do. I hope you have good connectivity wherever you are. So I want you to open a new tab wherever you are. And this is an exercise I just want you to answer. I want you to answer this question about how do you feel about 2021? Yeah. So how you're going to do this is that if you're on your computer or if you're on your phone, just go to www.menti.com. That is www.menti.com. I hope everyone is hearing me. And when you go to that site, I want you to use the code 1143778. And each one of you can give me at least 2 answers about how you feel about 2021. So go to www.menti.com and use the code 1143778 and give me your answers on how do you feel about 2021. So if any of you stuck, you can just write on the chat and I'll be able to see. So you are going to www.menti.com. And the code is 1143778. That's the code. It's not, I'm seeing someone is saying menti, it's MENTI.com. Menti. MENI.com. Menti.com. Yeah, so I'm seeing your answers are streaming in. Someone is saying they're optimistic, they're feeling unstoppable. I'm seeing someone else is saying they're hopeful. Someone else is saying they're low. It's true. It's a good, it's a feeling you might have. So more people, I think, are you struggling with the technology challenges? Just send in your answers. So we are seeing why you're seeing optimistic is because many people are writing they're optimistic. Yeah. And as I said, that's one of the success traits that you need to have is you need to be optimistic about the future. So I'm seeing a lot of people are saying they're optimistic. So has everyone been able to participate? So I'm seeing somebody saying they're feeling unstoppable. Others are saying they're motivated to succeed. And for sure, these are the right traits to have for 2021. One is saying they're saying they're having a blessed year. I'm seeing someone saying they're feeling zealous. Others are saying they're feeling energetic, motivated to succeed. Yeah, adapting to the new ways. True. What 2020 has taught us is that we need to adapt to new ways of thinking, to new ways of doing business, to new ways of approaching our jobs. So those are very good answers. I think most of you have been able to participate in that short exercise. So why you're seeing optimistic being highlighted in bold or in bigger caps than the rest of the others is because most people are saying that they're feeling optimistic about 2020, and that's a good feeling to have for 2020. You need to, for 2021, you need to be optimistic about the future. Yeah, as bad as the past has been, it's already behind you. Look forward, focus on what is ahead, because what is ahead is what will determine your future, not what is behind. So I'm also going to give you a second exercise here is, what are your goals for 2021? Yeah, now that you're talking about goal setting, what are your goals for 2021? What do you want to achieve in 2021? So we'll go again to www.menti.com and we'll use the same code. So that is www. Have you been able to open the page? www.menti.com. And the code remains the same. It's 114377 and 8. So what are your goals for 2021? I hope you're together. Are you able to access that? Yes, so I'm seeing the answers are streaming in. So I'm seeing someone saying they want to lose weight. Someone else is saying they want to refresh their career. I'm seeing someone is saying they want to boost their YouTube income, a very good target. Someone is saying they want to finish their PhD, a very good target. Someone is saying they want to have a side hustle. Yeah. Someone else is saying they want to start ITIL classes by September. Yeah. Finish my MBA, a good target. So I don't want to leave anyone out. I'll just give you a few seconds to put in your thoughts. So remember, you can put up to 2 goals. So someone else is saying reduce expenses. This is a good thing in terms of heading for financial independence. Build a home, a very good goal. Yeah. So I'm hoping all of you can be able to see these goals. Someone wants to increase their sales. Someone wants to get new skills. Yeah. And you can see getting a side hustle is becoming bigger, which means it's one of the main goals that people are chasing after, which is the next topic we're going into. Yeah. Improve time management, a very good goal. Yeah. Career refresh, finish my MBA, get professional courses, lose weight. These are very great goals for 2021. I'm seeing somebody else wants to build 10 rental houses. That's a very good goal. Income increase your income, a very good goal. So these are just exercises to help me gauge where we are and where we need to go as a group. And also for everyone in the talk to be able to see what different people are chasing after. For sure, all of us are chasing different goals. All of us want to achieve different things in 2021. And also I'm seeing even more coming in. Someone wants to go back to school. That is good. Someone wants to do a side hustle. Someone wants to triple their revenue by August. Yes, that's very specific. If you don't have time on your goals, you won't achieve them. So let's go back to the presentation. So as I said, your goals need to be smart. Yeah. Your goals need to be smart. You can write that down. They need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They need to be achievable. They need to be relevant, and they need to be time bound. Now, let me just check our time so that I don't push time too much. So what are the types of goals? Yeah, you need to ask yourself, what are the type of goals? You need to know. There are long-term goals and they're also short-term goals. What are the long-term goals? Your long-term goals are generally goals which will happen within the next 5 to 10 years. Those are your long-term goals. And then you have your short-term goals. What are the short-term goals? The goals which will generally take 1 to 5 years to achieve. So we have two types of goals, long-term and short-term goals. When you're doing goal setting, it's very important for you to ask yourself these questions. I've posed 4 questions for you there. And when you're thinking about goal settings, when you think about what you're going for in 2021, what you're going for beyond 2021, what you want to achieve now, what you want to achieve 3 months from now, what you want to achieve 6 months, 1 year from now, ask yourself, what do you want to do? Yeah. Every one of us, when we wake up in the morning, we have or you want something to do. Ask yourself, what do I want to do? Every morning when you wake up, ask yourself, what do you want to do? The next question you need to ask yourself is, what do I want to be? What do I want to become? What do I want people to know me as? When people talk about Eric, when people talk about George, when people talk about Kevin, what do you want to be? Ask yourself, what do you want to become? What do you want to be known as? What kind of legacy do you want to live in this world? Yeah. Then what do I want to see? Each of us, there are things we want to go for. There are places we want to visit. It might be Mombasa. It might be a traveling goal for Dubai. It might be a traveling goal for America, whatever it is. What do I want to see? Yeah. And then also, what do I want to have? Each of us has something that they want to have. It might be a material thing. It might be, I don't know, own a house, own a building, own a new phone, own a new car, own a new motorbike, whatever it is, own a new business. What do you want to have? Yeah. And in fact, I'm seeing I even forgot something, is you need to ask yourself, I hope you've written this down. So number 1 is, what do I want to do? Each one of us wants to do something. And God created all of us to do something, to be fruitful. Yeah. And being fruitful is doing something. You cannot sit at home sleeping. In fact, when you have inactivity in your life, you'll be very stressed and depressed. Each one of us was built for action. Each one of us was built to push after something, which is what we call our purpose. So write this down. What do I want to do? what do I want to be? What do I want to see? What do I want to have? And also, I'll just add number 5 is also, what do I want to give? Yeah. We live in hard times where there are people who are less fortunate than us. You might look down upon yourself and think you're less fortunate, but there are people who are actually less fortunate than most of us. And you need to ask yourself, part of this goal setting, what do you want to give? Yeah. What kind of charitable things do you want to do for others? It might not be for your immediate family members. It might be for even people who are not your immediate family members. What do you want to give back to the society? And this is a very interesting concept that it's actually a Bible concept that when you give, you receive. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together. So it's a very good concept. You need, for you to receive, start giving. Don't wait to receive to start giving. Start giving and it will come back to you. So this is a very important goal that I believe each one of us should have in their notebooks. Might not be the most important for everyone, but I believe this is one of the most important goals for each one of us to have. It is the goal to be financially independent. Finances will generally affect every other aspect of our lives. Your finances will affect where you live. Your finances will affect which schools your children go to. Your finances will affect literally everything you do from when you wake up in the morning to the evening. So it's good to have this as a goal, to be financially independent. What does it mean to be financially independent? The definition I'm giving there is to live from the income of your own personal resources. This is actually a point where you're having enough passive income that you don't need to work for every day, that can be able to sustain your expenses, can be able to sustain your family, can be able to sustain your household, can be able to sustain your charity work, can be able to sustain all the activities you want to do. You want to reach that financial milestone where if you say every month, for example, I need 20,000 shillings, I'm able to generate 30,000 shillings so that I have a surplus. I'm able to take care of my expenses and have a surplus. So this figure will vary from family to family. For others, financial independence is 10,000. For others, financial independence is 1 million. For others, financial independence is 100 million. For others, it's 1 billion. So families are different. Yeah. Because if we live in Kenya, are there houses that go for 1,000 shillings a month? Probably yes. And there are people living in a 1,000 shilling home. Are there houses going for 100,000 a month? Yes, there are neighborhoods with houses going up to 100,000. Are there places where houses are going for 500,000 a month? Yes, visit Muthaiga. Houses are going for 500,000 a month. So every one of us needs to grapple with their own concept of financial independence. As I've said, families are different. Your expenses are different. Your goals are different. Your appetite for material things are different. So you need to grapple with what is your concept of financial independence. But it needs to be, to me, the number one goal of each one of us who's attending this meeting. The goal to be financially independent, because finances will affect every other aspect of your life. In fact, finances will affect you more than any other thing. Because if you have health issues, you need finances. If you have harambes, you need finances. If you need to support your friends, you need finances. If you need to buy a new car, you need finances. If you need to buy a new phone, finances. If you need to buy clothes, finances. Almost every other thing boils down to finances. And once you're able to sort your finances, you'll be able to sort all these other aspects of your life. So have that as one of your goals. So we'll move on to a small exercise. I believe it's good to do exercises. It helps you remember things. And It helps you focus. So the exercise number 1 is take a pen and a paper and write, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? It's always good. This is a good exercise to do even with your children, and look back at what are these things that you're grateful for. And I want you to just write 5 of them. Just write 5 items which you're grateful for. So these are things maybe you've achieved in the past. What are you grateful for? Yeah. It might be you're grateful for, I don't know, getting a new job. You're grateful for having your income increased. You're grateful for getting a side hustle. You're grateful for your children. You're grateful for your spouse. So what are these things that you're grateful for? Just write 5 of them. So I believe we are together. So we move on to exercise 2. So for exercise 2, I'm sorry, I have so many slides. I'm seeing it's 8:48. I hope I'm not delaying. Most of you want to watch news, but I believe this is important. You can always watch news on repeat. So exercise 2, what do you want in the next 10 years? Just write 10 goals. They can be very broad goals. Might be goals on your finances, might be goals on your family, might be goals on your education, might be goals on your business, might be goals on what kind of destinations you want to go to, might be goals on career change. So what goals are you chasing? What are you going after? Just write 10 of your goals. So this is a good exercise to do if you're in a family, it's a good exercise to do as a family. If you're in business, it's a good exercise to do in your business. If you're in a company, it's also a good exercise to do as a company, and see what are you looking out for? What are your 10-year goals? Where do you want to be in the next 10 years? Where do you want to be in the next 1 year? Where do you want to be in the next 2 years? So I believe most of us are writing those 10-year goals. And if you're at home with someone else, you can share this after the talk and see what are your goals so that you can be accountable to each other. Then we head to exercise 3, is what will it take for you to achieve those goals? So you have your goal for building your house, for building those 10 rental properties. What will it take for you to achieve those goals? Remember, we said that your goals need to be smart. They need to be specific. Yes, it's specific. You want to build houses. Yeah. How do you measure it? What is the time that it takes for you to achieve this goal? So what does it take for you? For those goals that you've written, what will it take for you to achieve those goals? It might be a career goal. Do you need to learn new skills? Like the guy who said he wants to grow his YouTube channel. Is it growing the way you do your content? The guy who's building, do you have the finances that it takes to build these 10 houses or to build your home? And what does it take for you to actually achieve that goal? So, right, this gives you clarity in terms of what are the hurdles that you need to go through to get to those goals. Yeah. And when it's clear what hurdles you have, then it makes more sense on what you need to do between now and that time frame that you've set for these goals. So I believe most of us have been able to do that exercise. So the distribution of your number of goals, yeah, should generally equal out over the years. If you're saying that you are doing these 10-year goals, so you'll have, as I've said, you set your 10-year goals, you'll have goals which can take 1 year to achieve, 2 years to achieve, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, or even 10 years into the future. So if you have more of short-term goals, which are generally goals which are less than 5 years, if you have too many of them and less of the long-term goals, yeah, it means that you're not thinking far into the future. Yeah, you're just thinking of now. You're not thinking into the future, which you should be. because there are things in the future which need your intervention right now. Yes, your child is 5 years right now. Yeah, like my daughter is 6 years right now. A decade from now, she'll be 16 years. Where will she be in 16 years? She'll be probably in secondary, where I'll have to chip in more money in her education. So I need to think of that right now. In as much as she's 6 years right now, I need to think of 10 years from now, I'll need to take her to high school. What investment plan can I start right now for her to be able to go to university, for her to be able to go to a good college, for her to be able to access a good career in future? On the other side, if you have too many long-term goals, you might be looking too much into the future. It means you're not living the moment. Yeah, you're not living the moment. You need to live the moment also. You need to have goals which you can achieve within a short time to give you the fuel and desire to achieve those long-term goals. So when you're setting goals, try to balance them out. Have enough short-term goals and enough long-term goals. You need things which will fuel you right now, and you need things which will fuel you for the future. So both are important. Have that distribution of goals to be able to chase them with the urgency that is required. So we finished topic 2. So I'm sure this is the fun topic that most of you signed up for, and that's why you came to the talk. It's finding a hustle and finding a business. So this is a very long topic. I can take a day discussing this topic, but I just want to condense it. Yeah, we'll have another session later on where I'll give you more content on finding a hustle and a business. So the billionaire and the beggar all have 24 hours in a day. So what makes the difference in output between the billionaire and the beggar? They all have 24 hours in a day. What makes the difference in the output? And why do we need to find a hustle? Why? Why are we looking for a side hustle? Why are we looking for a business? Because each of us can make use of some extra cash. There's a topic in economy, and I think it was talk about the diminishing returns of most items or most goods. So whenever you buy something, it might be a new phone, it might be a new car, it might be a new suit, and there's always after some time you find out that this was not really it. Yeah, there's a diminishing return. You don't feel as good as you once felt when you bought that item. But for money, it is an outlier, because for money, the more you get, the more you want. And why? Because the more you get, the more your users of money. There are million users of money out there. And that's why each of us can make use of some extra cash. And how do we unlock getting some extra cash? Start a side hustle, start a business, apart from the main hustle that you're doing right now. I just want to take a few minutes of your time and talk about a story that most of you might have heard, or some of you have not heard. It's the story of Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. This is a man who faced a lot of adversity in his lifetime. Yeah, at the age of 5, he lost his father. At the age of 18, he got married. In fact, before that, at the age of 17, he had lost almost 4 jobs. Yeah. And by the age of 18, he got married. Unfortunately, he lost his son. He had a son and a daughter. He lost his son, and that led him to have a divorce. He divorced at the age of 20, and his wife left with their 1-year-old baby. He did a lot of odd jobs, yeah, in his early life for almost 25 years. He was a railroad conductor. He sold tires. He sold insurance. He sold almost all sorts of things. Yeah, we can even say he was a hawker. Yeah, the guy did everything. In fact, at one point, he was even a lawyer. I don't even know how he did that without a law degree. But in his story, in his biography, he says he acted as a lawyer. So he did all sorts of odd jobs, and he had very little success. He also even joined the US Army at one point, and he had very little success with most of what he did. So he faced a lot of adversity early on in his life. And all through, he was always picking himself up, getting another job, changing industry, changing tactics. And at one point, he started he joined a cafe. I think it was at 45 years. He joined a cafe. And that's the job he actually did until he was 65 years old. Yeah. He learned cooking, came up with crazy recipes for cooking chicken. And even at one of those points, he actually started his own cafe, which burnt down, unfortunately. And at the age of 65, Colonel Sanders was retiring after the hotel went bankrupt, and he was actually retiring at 65. And the only income he was getting was a check from the government, which was about $105. That's about 10,000 shillings. And at that point, he was so depressed. He was wondering, is this all that life has to offer? And he actually wanted to commit suicide. So when he was writing his suicide notes, he just realized that probably instead of writing a suicide note, why not write the things that I will have achieved in my lifetime? And he realized that he actually had a gift which most people didn't have. He could, to him, his conviction was he could make the best fried chicken that anyone had tasted. So he decided to borrow some money. I think it was $85. He bought a fryer. He brought the ingredients for making the chicken. And he mixed up this concoction of ingredients and made the chicken and started distributing it to his neighbors. And the neighbors loved it. So what he decided was, since my neighbors love this idea, let me try and see if I can sell this to other restaurants. And he actually approached 1,009 restaurants, and all of them rejected him. So talk about rejection. This guy has been rejected for 65 years of his life, and is being rejected again. He was rejected 1,009 times. But the 1,010th time, he got one hotelier who believed in him. And we say the rest is history. He has been able to build an empire of restaurants. I'm sure most of you have seen KFC in Nairobi, in other major towns, Nakuru and other towns. And KFC, as we speak today, has over 20,000 locations worldwide in 123 countries. They have a turnover in excess of $23 billion. And look at where his journey started. At the age of 65, his journey ended at the age of 88. That was 23 years later. And he died as a billionaire. So whenever you feel like you have been pushed to the wall, there's nothing more that life can offer, you feel like you're too late for your goals, no, it's not too late. Yeah. For Colonel Sanders, in fact, his story is telling us that it's never too late. He was 65 and he still achieved his goal of being a millionaire. So this is a very encouraging story. I would ask you that you can go and read out this story for yourself and be inspired by Colonel Sanders, be inspired by what he has managed. 20,000 locations. I don't even know of any other business with that many locations out there in the world. So what are the lessons that we've gotten from COVID-19? I would say these are called the COVID-19 lessons. Is that number one, life is short. Yeah, life is short. In as much as I mean, our life expectancy is maybe 70 years, for others 80, 90. Life is short, and you need to make the most of it right now. As I talked about procrastination, putting your ideas on hold up to tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 2 years, 5 years, act on them right now. What COVID-19 showed us is that the world economy can be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Just when no one expected it, everything about our livelihoods was changed. Everything about what we believed that we were going to achieve in 2020 was changed. And that tells you that there's always disaster waiting somewhere. And you need to be prepared. You need to be armed. You need to have the resources to be able to weather any storm that can come in future. There's no job security. That's what we learned from COVID-19. People lost their jobs. People had pay cuts. People's businesses went under. I mean, you've seen big hotel chains, Radisson Blue, yeah, Fairmont, Norfolk, massive businesses which were making billions have gone under. Tusky Supermarket, Nakumat, I mean, the list is endless of how many people have lost their jobs due to such a pandemic. So you need to prepare yourself for the future and know that you need to find a second stream of income. You need to find a second stream of income to support your goals, to support your ambitions. And for sure, we are seeing why it's important to find this second stream of income, and not tomorrow, today. Starting today, start thinking, what can I do? Do I need to upgrade my skills to get a new job? Do I need to upgrade my business? Do I need to do something different for me to be able to get financial independence in future? You need to start thinking right now. I'm sure you've been having ideas over the last 5 years, 10 years, you've been pushing them down. Start writing them down. Start taking action points. What will I do for the next 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? So this is the major excuse that most people have is, I don't have time. I get to work at 8. I get out at 6. I'm too tired. I need to watch the news. I need to, read the newspaper. I need to catch up with social media. And I mean, by the time I'm done, I don't have any time. But the truth is that we actually have a lot of time. And this time needs to be used effectively to create or generate a second source of income. So what are you doing with your 24 hours? Ask yourself that question and write it down. What do I do with my 24 hours? Evaluate your 24 hours. Yeah. You have about 168 hours in a week. That is in 7 days time. 24 hours multiplied by 7 days. You have 168 hours in a week. Yeah. Write down, take a notebook and write down, what am I actually doing with my time? What am I doing with my 24 hours? So if you break down your 24 hours, you'll see that for employed people, you generally work about 40 to 50 hours a week. If you're self-employed, you might be working roughly on average about 50 hours a week. If you're in business, you're probably doing 50 to 70 hours in a week. And sure, you have to sleep. You can't work 24 hours. So I'm giving you a good number of hours to sleep. Let's say you sleep for about 7 hours a day. Some people sleep 6, others sleep 8 hours, but 6 hours is actually sufficient for most human beings to function well during the day. So if we say that if you sleep about 7 hours a day, that comes to 49 hours. So what free time do you have? So we have 168 hours during the week. We minus our 50 hours on average. We say on average you work about 50 hours in a week, and you sleep about 49 hours. How many hours does that work out to? That works out to, you have about 68 hours free. Oh, not, yes, you have about 68 hours free in 1 week. So if that math is wrong, go down and do your own math. How long do you work in a week? How long are you sleeping? How long are you doing other activities? How much free time do you have? So you have about 68 hours in a week, which is free time. Yeah. So how much free time is that in 1 year? So it was 68 hours. In fact, I've reduced it to 60 hours. Let's say it's about 60 hours. Yeah. And a year has about 52 weeks. So in 1 year, you have 60 hours multiplied by 52 weeks, which means you have about 3,120 hours in 1 year. That's your free time. You're about 3,120 hours in 1 year. Yeah. Yeah. Hello? Am I still live? I see somebody saying I'm hanging. Are you still able to view me? Hello?
Just hold on. He's coming back on. All right, Victor.
Hello?
Hello. Okay.
Testing.
You're back.
Oh, sorry. I don't know where.
You're on the slide for the calculation of the hours, the amount of time that you have in a week.
So, I mean, these are things that can happen. Someone says it was Murphy's Law. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So sometimes in as much as we are as prepared as we can be, some things will always go wrong. So sorry for that. So I'm wrapping up. I'm sure some people have started dozing off. Yeah. I think you can send something on the chat section to just say that you're still alive and kicking, you're still awake. So I think, was that the slide I was on?
Yes, you can go on.
Yeah. So anyway, this is just breaking down the number of hours that you have in a year. So as I've said, you have about 60 hours in a week, which are free. In 1 year, 1 year is made up of 52 weeks. So that is about 60 hours multiplied by 52 weeks. So you have about 3,103 hours free in a week. I think someone needs to mute themselves. I'm not sure who it is. So if we say that our working day is generally 8 hours, it means that we have 390 days free in terms of working days. We have 390 days free to actually work on a side hustle in a year, which is a lot of time. So ask yourself, how am I managing my time? Because many people say, I don't have time. And the truth is that you actually have time. It's just that you're not looking for the time, or other things are taking priority other than you deciding to make sure that you take this time to build a second stream of income. This is a very good book that I would suggest those who haven't read it to read. And if you have read it, I would suggest that you read it again. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very small book. In fact, if you see, it's a very small book. This is a very thin book. It's a book that you can read in one weekend and finish. So this is one of my best books on getting yourself into the financial independence zone. The major theme of the book is what you do with what you have is more important than what you have. Yeah. What you do with the little that you have is more important than actually what you're getting. And this is very true. If you observe generally people who are in the teaching career, teachers, their salaries are not usually big. But when you look at them at retirement and the kind of projects they've been able to do, they have a farmhouse, they have built their homes, their children are in university. If you see the kind of projects they're able to do when they're heading to retirement, you wonder how much they're earning. And it's not because of what they're earning, it's what they are doing with what they're earning. And even most of us are earning 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x more than these teachers. But what happens? We squander all of it. We don't invest it. And when you're going back, when you're going to retirement, you're asking yourself, all this money passed through my hands, but what have I achieved? What can I say I'm proud of? Yeah. So this is a very good book to start you on thinking about money and financial independence and how to invest. And that some 7 rules of money, which you can actually go and check the book summary on my website, www.victorbotto.com/blog, and look for the blog on The Richest Man in Babylon, and look for those lessons about the rules of money. But I just mentioned 2 here, is making your gold multiply. You need to make your money multiply for financial independence, and you need to improve your ability to earn. You need to create more value in the marketplace so that you can be rewarded better. So you need to start. This is the number 1 step in getting your financial independence, in getting your side hustle, in getting your business. You need to start. All those ideas you've been thinking about, starting a chicken farm, starting a kiosk, starting a restaurant, starting a business, starting consulting, you just need to start. You'll never figure out everything. You can't figure out everything from the word go. Some of these things, you'll figure them out as you go along. So the first and hardest step is to start. Many of us freeze just on the start because we have this long business plan. You need to get an office here. You need to get finances from where. You need to get this and that. That's not important. Just take the first step of faith, and everything else will start falling into the right place. So this is the first and most important step for you to start your hustle, for you to start your business. Some basic economic principles is that we get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. That is what people pay you for. When you wake up in the morning, when you're going to go to your job, when you're going to your business, when you're going to your enterprise, whatever you are doing, why are you getting paid? You need to ask yourself, why are you getting paid? Because there's some value you're bringing in the marketplace. If you're in insurance, there's some value you're bringing to your clients. If you're selling items like I do on my e-commerce site, there's some value, and that value, we exchange it for money. I bring you a smartphone, you give me money. I bring you insurance policy, you give me money. I'm a teacher, I bring you knowledge, you pay me. So that's a basic economic principle. We are getting paid for bringing value to the marketplace. So if we are getting paid for bringing value to the marketplace, how do we earn more from that marketplace? Yeah, that's the next step. We need to bring more value to the marketplace to get paid more. Each one of us, whatever company we work for, whatever business we are running, are there people who earn more than us? Sure. If you're earning X, is there someone earning 2X? Is there someone earning 3X? Is there someone earning 10X? Is there someone earning 100X? Yes, there's that sort of person out there. Why are they earning that kind of amount? Because they are bringing more value to the marketplace. So find out in your own small way, in your own career, how can I bring more value? If it's in my business, how can I bring more value to my clients? If it's in my career, how can I bring more value to my employer so that I get noticed, I get a rise, I get a new position? Or if my employer is actually not seeing what I'm doing for them, can I take this value to another company which will pay me more? So you need to ask yourself, how can I bring more value to the marketplace? That is how you make more money. So it's just some career advice on especially people who are working, is that you need to work on your personal development to create more value and earn more money. So what is personal development? It's upskilling yourself. Yeah, it's going after those skills that are needed for your workplace and you're not good at them. You need to upskill yourself. You need to look at your peers who are doing better than you. What are they doing differently? Yeah. Is it your social circle which is limiting you? Maybe the people you are hanging out with don't have the right ideas for you. You need to get a new group. Yeah. Maybe the company you're working for is not bringing out the best in you. You need to jump ship and look for something else to do. So you need to invest in your personal development to be able to have that jump in your earning, in your salary, that jump in your career, that jump to the next level, so that you can be able to feel fulfilled. Next is, these are 3 money rules. These are the most important rules for money. Number 1 is you can write this down. You need to learn its acquisition, its retention, and its multiplication. These are the 3 most basic rules of money. So number 1 is, how do you acquire this money? What are the ways of acquiring money? Number 2, this money that I've acquired, yes, I've acquired 10,000. Yeah. But do I go and blow the 10,000 in a retreat? Do I go and blow the 10,000 in buying some expensive gift? Yeah. Because if I have acquired the 10,000 and I spend it, I'm left at zero. I need to acquire another 10,000. But if I acquire the 10,000, retain it. Ask yourself, how do I multiply it? That's the multiplication. How do I turn these 10,000 shillings into 20,000 shillings? How do I turn the 20,000 shillings into 40? How do I turn the 40 into so on and so forth? Yeah. So these are some of the basic ways of acquiring money. Yeah. Which is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. How do you acquire money? So most of us are already in a job or are looking for one. That's a way of acquiring money. One of the other ways is starting a business, which is starting that side hustle that you've been thinking about for a long time, starting that extra source of income that you've been thinking about, and learning the art of selling. It's a very important art. Sell something. Even if it's your old wares at home, sell them. Get some capital to do something. So learn how to sell, because whenever value is exchanging, you're always exchanging it through selling. So I am selling you an idea, you give me money. I'm selling you an item, you give me back money. There's always something that is being sold. There's always value exchanging hands. You can think of consulting. Each one of us has a skill. That's why you're working somewhere. You're working somewhere because you have a skill. And this skill, you can monetize it. You can make people pay you for what you know. But you need to find the right people to pay you. Others will not pay you. You need to find the right crowd to pay you for those skills, because they're skills you've gained. They're things you know that others don't know. You need to find a way of monetizing those skills. Of course, there's inheritance, which is one way of acquiring money, but I'm sure this is not for most of us, and it's not even something to look out for. It's a good thing to have, but the truth is that more often than not, the stories I hear about people who have gotten money through inheritance, it ends up being wasted. Why? Because you didn't work for it. But if you have financial discipline, even inheritance money can be multiplied and create value for you and your family in the future. So I'll just touch a bit on starting a business in Kenya. These are some of the, I think, most important points when you think about starting a business in Kenya. Is number one, find an idea or an opportunity. Ideas are out there. Find an idea. Idea is the most important thing when starting a business. No, it's not even capital. You don't even need capital to start with. You don't even need time. You need an idea. What is this that you want to go after? And how will it benefit others so that they can exchange that benefit and give you money? Yeah. You need to identify your target customers. Yes, you have the idea, but this idea, who is it for? Who are you going to sell to? You might have a good idea which cannot be sold to anyone. Yeah. You might have an idea of building a machine to go to the center of the earth. Who needs to go to the center of the earth? Yeah. So you need to see who is your target customer. Whatever business you're building, who is going to pay you for what you want to do? And then you need to identify similar businesses, because businesses are never in a vacuum. For any one business, there are probably 100 businesses out there which are the same. So study these businesses which are similar. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? And you want to emulate what they're doing right. Yeah. Then start small. It's important to start small. Test the waters. Don't throw in the big money on your idea. Start as small as you can so that you don't burn your fingers. If you see an idea and you need to start with the smallest bit of money to be able to test out. Yeah. And see, can this idea work? Are people actually interested? It's even good to get your family members and see, my extended family, my relatives, are they actually interested in this kind of product, in this kind of service? Yeah, start small. Then Once you see that you're getting traction in the market, that you see this business is growing, start scaling up if it works. If it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board and see, where did I fail? Where is the business model wrong? Or do I need a new idea? So don't simply go back home and say, yeah, I'm a failure. No, you're not a failure. That is a learning lesson. Take those lessons you've learned, invest them in a new business, invest them in a new model, invest them in a new service. And within a couple of iterations, you'll see that the pieces have started to flow and things are moving forward. Then work on building a brand. Why is it important to build a brand? So that people resonate with your name. That when they think you want to be a market leader in whatever you do, yeah? If you're a teacher, you want to be the best teacher out there. If you want to be an electronics dealer, you want to be the best. If you want to be an e-commerce guru, you want to be the best. If you want to be a consultant in engineering, in teaching, you want to be the best. Build a brand, because that brand will enable you to get passive income in future. You'll find people are looking for you. You know, when you start a business, you look for customers. But when you build a brand, within a very short period of time, you don't look for customers. The customers look for you. Why? Because you're creating value. And if you're creating value and creating a brand that will last, then money will hunt you down. Success will hunt you down. So, as I said, where are the ideas? So the ideas are out there. Be alert. When you move during the day, there's so many businesses out there. There's so many ideas. Be alert. Always open your eyes to opportunities. If someone tells you, I have an idea, listen to it. You don't have to do it, but listen to it. Find everything that you can do. Find everything. That's the biggest challenge in life, is to find out, what can we be? What are the uses of your life that you haven't found out yet? What is your maximum potential? You want to reach your maximum potential. Be alert. See all the ideas around you. Watch news. Yeah. Ideas around you. Watch news. Watch. I know most people hate business news. Watch business news. See what is going on business news. Where is the economy going? Yeah. Like people who found out about SGR, that SGR is going in this direction. People started buying land around SGR and they made millions. So find out, where is the economy going? Where can I start putting my money? And where will it bring a good return? Yeah. What are people looking for? Yeah. Every day, what are you looking? In fact, ask yourself, what am I looking for? When you wake up every day, you're always spending money on something. Yeah. What are you spending money on? Whatever you're spending money on, somebody else is spending money on. That's an opportunity. You need to look at it. The places, in fact, Jack Ma puts it at this, where there's a lot of complaints, where people are complaining, that's where the opportunity is. If you can sort out that area where people are complaining, people will be willing to pay you. People will be willing to pay you for that service or that product that you bring to the market. Ask yourself every day, where can I add value? And write those ideas down. Don't just think about it and say, oh, yeah, I thought of I don't know, a food parlor, a nail parlor, but you never wrote it down. You'll forget. Write them down. I'm sure each one of us at one point in time, you've seen a business idea and said, I had thought of that. Nilikuwa nimefikiria hiyo kitu. Nilikuwa nataka kuanza, but that guy started. So why not you? Because you didn't write it down, because you did not take action. So you need to take action. You need to write down your ideas. You need to start now. Start small. Find out if the idea works. Then iterate and grow it. Make it bigger and scale it up. So that brings me to the conclusion of this presentation. I'm sorry we have taken a bit longer than usual. So I leave with a Bible verse, which is in Philippians 3:13. It says, brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. We need to we need to fix our vision on what is ahead of us. There are things that have happened in 2020. There are things that have happened in the year 2010. Whatever has happened in the past has happened. Take it as a lesson. Pick up the pieces and move forward. Let your vision be that vision of the future. Focus on what is ahead. Focus on your goals. Focus on what you want to achieve in 2021. Focus on what you want to achieve beyond 2021. So I will say thank you for those who participated in the talk. I'll be sharing more details on other talks that I'll be holding, and I'll share these notes on my website, www.victorbotto.com. I'll share those URL links. I believe I have most of your email addresses, and we'll be able to get in touch with you via email. And if you see there are friends of yours who need to gain this knowledge, please share with them our contacts, and we'll share dates of the other talks that we'll be having. So thank you so much. I will open the session for some question and answers. And as I said, I'll be giving out 3 gifts to those who have been very attentive, extremely attentive. Yeah. And these gifts will actually be collected from our town store. But just before I give you the questions, that's our email address. Or if you need to contact us on email, contact us at talks@bovic.co.ke. That is talks@bovic.co.ke. If you want to take a screenshot or picture or write, you can write it down. If you want us to be able to communicate to you in future, you can also SMS your email and number to 0702 538 588. These are our site links. That's my website where I'll share the notes. Probably in 5 days, I'll be able to share the notes so that you can be able to peruse through, share with your friends, share with your family, anyone who is going to gain value from it. Our website is www.bovic.co.ke. If you need to buy, I don't know, smartphones, any electronic products, any technology gadgets, you can find them there at bovic.co.ke, and we'll be happy to serve you. And if you need any renewable energy, go to www.botosolar.com. In addition, you can follow me on my social media handles for those who are on social media. On Facebook, I'm Victor Emmanuel Botto. On Instagram, I'm Botto Victor. And on Twitter, my handle is vbotto. But just go and type Victor Botto on any of these platforms, and you'll probably see a picture of me, and you can follow me and my content. And also, we'll curate this video and upload it probably on my website or on YouTube. But we're going to communicate that so that you'll be able to access this again, and we'll have it up for about 7 days from the date that we put it up, so that you can be able to review and share these notes with your friends and be blessed. So, Susan, I don't know if they're still on the call.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. I am sure we have all appreciated that wonderful talk and insights that he has given. Yes, on the reactions, I hope you can see people are clapping,
Yeah.
And people are applauding you.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for that wonderful talk and presentation. So on the chats, and thank you also for your comments and questions. Maybe, Victor, you can just note this down and see which ones you are able to quickly answer.
Okay.
Felix Kamande says, what are some of the factors that are to be considered when setting up an online shop? What are some of the factors that are to be considered when setting up an online shop? Can be answering that. And you also have very good comments from people. Mr. Wahomengari, I know you have mentioned him as one of your mentors. He says, well done, Victor. You're doing a great job at the Personal Finance Academy. We are proud of you as our alumni. Yeah, so Mr. Ngari, thank you for that comment.
Yes.
I'm looking for your questions.
So anyone who has a question, or
All
a
right. And
compliment.
Mr. Timothy here says, is it a good idea to start with a high-risk business as a side hustle, such as Forex or political financing? Wow, political financing.
You
That's
want to
a
finance
hustle.
Jubilee and NASA?
Political, that's a very interesting question. Thank you for
Yeah.
that, Timothy. So Victor, you can take those two questions first.
Yeah. So the first question from Felix about factors to consider when setting up an online shop. I would say number one is you need to look at who is your target customer. Yeah. That is number one most important factor, because if you're setting up an online shop, you need to have the end in mind. Who are you targeting? Who do you want to serve? Yeah. So think of your end client. What does he want to see? What kind of content does he want to interact with on your sites? So think of who is your target customer. Yeah. And most importantly, what kind of products are you promoting? So, because not all products can be sold online. Yeah. So who is your target customer? What are you promoting? And what is the cost of building such an online platform? Because you can, there are online platforms which can cost you, 10,000 shillings, 20,000 shillings, 100, a million. It can grow to whatever value. So think of what are the cost implications of what you want to do, and do you actually have the finances to finance it? If you're short on finances, then think of starting small. Look at platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, totally free. You don't pay anything to use these platforms. Make use of them to start your online business. And then when you've seen the response from the market, then you can decide, okay, let me start my website on the side, start to see how the flow is. Because let me tell you the truth, running online is not a joke. Contrary to common belief, people think that running an online business, I run an online business, and it's not a joke, because the old model of doing business was people walked into your shop. The new way of doing business is people walk into your shop online. But how do you bring them to your shop online? You need to market it. And marketing costs a lot of dollars, I would say, for you to bring people to your shop. So first start with the free platforms, then move on to the paid platforms when you're seeing the cash flows. Even if you have the funds right now, don't just push them on an online shop. You might actually waste your funds and not get a return. Start with what is free. There's nothing beats free. Start with free, then grow. Then the other question is a high risk business. So our risk appetites are different. Yeah, people have this different risk appetites. Others are averse to risk. Others want those risky businesses. So I will say, number one is you need to evaluate your risk appetite, and then do not put all your eggs in one basket. That is a rule of thumb. If you want to do political financing, look at what is the return. Are you investing $1 million to get 1.1? Are you investing $1 million for a promise of 3 million? But eventually you lose your million. So think of the risks involved, yeah, and think of a risk appetite, yeah. So high risk businesses are okay. You can do high risk Forex business, high return, but I'll say test the waters first. If it's Forex, if let's say you have 100,000 to invest, start with 10,000. See how that goes. If that goes well, put 20. If that goes well, add your risk appetite, but don't go in with both feet in the water. The water might just sweep you away. So, is there any other question?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Victor, for those insights. I feel like I have really learned a lot.
Yes.
And I hope everyone else has. And yeah, from the chats, people are saying, Asante Sana, we really appreciate.
Yes.
Someone here has said that we need to do another talk like this very soon. And somebody is also talking about, you need to talk about the renewable energy business. Someone is into renewable energy. So
Yes.
maybe that's also one of the areas
Yeah.
you can think about doing
Okay.
talks in future. Thank you all of you for your great comments. Victor has told you where you can be able to access all this information. So please log on to his website to get the full recording. So I think
So I can ask the 3 questions.
yes, you can now ask the 3 questions and we see who will be our lucky winners for today. I hope you've been paying attention. So yeah, let's
so
see
I
whether
hope you've been paying attention. So we'll find out who are the good students. Yeah. And okay, they're not bad students today. I believe all of you are good students. Yeah. So my question number 1 is, what are the 3 topics that we've covered today? Any volunteers?
unmute yourself and just
Unmute yourself
speak
and
up.
just say, yeah. What are the 3 topics?
Success.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Success.
Who's answering?
The first
Yes,
person talking is Game Matheke. Is that?
Yes.
Success.
Yes,
Training and hustle.
Success.
Training.
Success.
Mhm.
Goal
Let one
setting.
person talk.
Goal
Huh?
setting.
Success,
Hello?
goal setting, and hustle.
There are 2 people talking. Okay, let's hear Guy.
Goal setting.
No,
Success.
we're okay.
Hustle.
Yeah.
Success, goal setting, and finding a hustle.
Okay, who is that?
This is Joseph.
Joseph.
Yes.
Full name is
Joseph Ndenge.
Joseph
Joseph Ndenge.
or Joseph Thenge.
Yes.
That's our first prize. And question number 2, what are the 3 money principles?
3 money principles.
And
Joseph, you have
Joseph,
answered. So
you
please
already have
let
answered,
somebody
so
else.
somebody else will answer.
Yes, and there was a lady who was trying to
Retention,
answer.
No, who is that? Who
multiplication.
is answering? You need to say his name first.
My name is David.
Okay, David.
David, the others, mute yourself.
Yeah.
Acquisition, retention, and multiplication.
Yes. So that is David who? Your second name?
David Mbogwa.
Bogwa.
Yes, please.
Okay. And number 3 has to be a lady now, because we've had to we've had a number of gentlemen answering
Yes, so
questions.
now the men.
So now the men, you can mute yourselves. Yeah. So for the ladies, what do we get paid for?
We get paid for solving problems in the marketplace.
Yes, a very good trial, but there's a word I'm looking for.
We get paid for hard work.
Another one.
We get paid for
adding value.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Who is that?
Yeah. Is that Jackie?
My name is Jacinta.
Is?
Jacinta, yes.
Jacinta who?
Yes.
Jacinta Kaminja.
Jacinta Kaminja.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Yes.
Jacinta Kaminja. So we get
Thank
paid
you
for bringing value to the marketplace. So all the other answers are not wrong, but that's the key word I was looking for. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. So thank you, our 3 participants. So Joseph Ntenge, can you please give us your number?
076 285 383.
383. Okay, we'll contact you on Monday. And David Mbogwa?
0724 322 814.
814. Okay. And Jacinta Kaminja?
0720 791 325.
325. So each of you will receive a smartwatch worth 4,000 shillings, which can connect to your phone. You can ring, dial, you can measure your heart rate, you can measure your blood pressure, you can keep yourself healthy. At least you'll have succeeded in one of those 3 dimensions of the success equation on your health. So we need you to monitor your health. And for those who haven't gotten a gift today, we'll have many of these talks, and I'm sure you are going to get a gift. So thank you so much for being attentive and taking your time to participate in this talk. Many people wanted to participate. For some reason they didn't participate, but we're happy that you participated. So we are going to share these notes on the website www.victorbotto.com. We are going to email you, and we are going to add you to our mailing list and newsletter. And we are also going to share part of this video on our YouTube channel, and you can be able to view it for 7 days and tell your friends also to have a look at it and let it add value to your lives. So thank you so much. We are going to end the talk.
Victor, just tell them where the shop is. If you want more of this gadgets and even the ones who have won the prize, you can visit us.
Even for the ones who have won the prize, our store is located at Bihi Towers, Bihi Towers, Bihi Towers, first floor, store number 5. Bihi Towers is actually opposite Sanford Fish and Chips on Moy Avenue. So that is Bihi Towers, first floor, store number 5. And of course, for those who want to order things, you can always order them online from our website, www.bovic.co.ke. Thank you so much for being attentive. I think it's good to clap for yourself and start working on your goals. Start working on your hustle. Start now, not tomorrow. Start tonight. Thank you so much. So I think people can leave the talk at their leisure.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
So much for attending.
Yeah.
Thank
you can
you.
show your video and just say goodbye or wave goodbye.
Yes.
We'd like to see your faces and even take an online photo so that you can feature in our website. So yeah, you can just put your cameras on for a split second and give a big, nice smile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, at least now we can put faces behind the names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for attending our talk. Good night and God bless.
Good night, everyone. God bless you as you forge ahead with your goals and your dreams